Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
What's going on, everybody? We are Purple Dailies Before I Die. I'm Jesse. He's Jason. He's Leighton, which sounds like a really cool band, if I might say so myself.
A little too long.
A little too long. Jesse, Jason, and Leighton.
We'll work on it.
We'll
workshop it.
We're workshopping it, as always. Again, this is Purple Dailies Before I Die, talking Vikings hockey. Or not Vikings.
Viking. I think you got hockey on the brain after Judd's hockey show this
I'm also
weekend.
in hockey this mode. Yes, I'm on Judd's hockey show. Vikings football on the mind. We are podcasting live from the Score North Minnesota Rusco deck at the Minnesota State Fair. Boys, plenty to talk about. I want to start first things first. Jason, this is your first time out at the Minnesota State Fair.
Yes.
How has that been going for you? And please, can we also give it up for Jason's throwback jersey? Why don't you tell us who you're wearing today? The fit is fitting, if you will.
There's this guy from Minnesota. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He actually went undrafted and was considering dental sales. A little man by the name of Adam Thielen, who might not be what he was 6, 5, even 4 years ago, but would be a pretty valuable add to this Vikings team. So I'm just repping Detroit Lakes. Detroit Lakes go crazy. So I'm optimistic. I'm hoping Ricky Scoops, according to Phil, is correct. I haven't checked his Twitter yet, but
What'd he say?
wow, Leighton, look at you.
What'd he say?
You weren't even
Welcome.
listening to Phil.
Welcome.
But
What if they didn't hear?
It does appear a lot of the news as far as the asking price is apparently, and this would make sense, coming from the Viking side trying to create some pressure for the Panthers. So we will see what happens. But Ricky did also say earlier last week that the deal was done, so we will have
Take
to see
it.
which one is true. So,
It could go either way. It's one of those. It can go either way.
yeah, I'm loving the State Fair so far.
You brought us some prizes as well, not particularly for
Yes.
us, but I'm very excited about the mystery card pull that we are going to kick this show off with.
Yes, and for clarity, I haven't lived here and never been to the State Fair. I just moved here from Arizona about 7, 8 weeks ago with my wonderful wife and our 2 awesome kids. But I heard for a few dollars you can get a signed or memorabilia Vikings card from the Fan HQ store. I got 2, or I got 4 total, open 2. The first was a nice little pristine auto card. Unfortunately, that autograph was Blair Walsh.
He had a great year.
He had one.
He
good
didn't miss
year.
in the Metrodome.
Didn't miss the Metrodome. This is true.
Anyways.
The Metrodome collapsed.
So,
in his
you know
career.
what? We could just simply call that one a miss, I think, as far as a poll.
Wide
But then the
left.
second was a Randall Cunningham patch, which was pretty sick. So we got 2 more here if you guys want to see what we got.
Let's go. Who wants to see him
Let's
open
do it.
these up, see what's our mystery cards, hoping for some good Vikings pulls. Stop. The reaction is good. Jason is giving a reaction of
What do we got? What do we got?
JJ
Draw.
McCarthy patch card.
All right, there we
JJ
go.
McCarthy patch card. There we go.
Let's go.
I feel like that deserves kind of like maybe a skull chant.
I
Should we
think
get
so.
it going? Ready?
Yeah.
You guys want to do it?
Skull. Skull.
Skull.
All right,
All right, we got some takers.
You know what?
There we go.
This is not too shabby.
That's a good pull
Not too
on the
shabby at
first
all.
mystery
I was
card.
hoping for a McCarthy auto, but a patch rookie card.
Yep.
It's only going to go up in value.
You know what?
It's
I
true.
think our friend Ross was telling me he has a buddy who could help me with some PSA grades if these are good. So I think we might be making a call.
Hey, there you go.
And then
Yep.
the last one, if it wants to come out, that would be very helpful.
Where's this store at?
Over a couple of blocks away.
An
Over there.
Irv
Yeah.
Smith Jr. patch with a jersey number in it.
Okay.
I saw the 84. I immediately realized it was the 2015 and onward jersey, or 2013, I think is when they did it. So maybe thought Cordero, but
Eat your mic.
thank you. So this will work. But, wow, McCarthy
There we go.
patch, not too shabby. That one will
Not too
be
shabby at all.
probably getting graded.
I would, since we're on the quarterback topic, I would like to bring up to you guys, as we brought up on our inaugural episode last week, that Sam Harton unfortunately was released from the Washington Commanders, so he is available.
Unfortunately.
He is.
Unfortunately?
I
Fortunately.
feel like it's fortunately for you.
I don't know. I mean, I want him to play. I want the best for my man, Sam
Yeah.
Hartman. If any of you ladies have ever seen a photo of Sam Hartman, you know what I'm talking about. And you know, he can sling the ball okay. It's just
Yeah,
kind
he
of just,
can.
it's
Look
fun
at
to
any
watch him.
Paul Bunyan statue at this fair, and you'll get a pretty decent idea.
I'm
Well,
just saying, he could
here's
be,
the thing
he could
about
be a
Sam.
QB4.
The thing about Sam Hartman, though, is that, did you know, there's never been a quarterback with long hair to win a Super Bowl.
But he cut it before camp.
Oh, did he cut
got
He
it?
the
did
comb
cut
over.
it. He looks. It's still
So
got
it's
a good
still
flow.
there?
I mean,
it's
he's
not-
got
but it-
hair. He's got hair. The man's got hair.
All right.
I
It's
just wanted
all
to bring
on his
that up.
chin, but yes, he has hair.
I needed to bring it up. We talked
gotcha.
Adam Thielen. Obviously, our
Yep.
friends at Purple Daily have talked at length. That's our big focus right now for the Minnesota Vikings. Who wants to bring Adam Thielen home? Who's feeling that? Yeah? Is there anybody that's not? Anybody that's kind of meh on it?
I've been kind of meh on it.
All right, Leighton, let's hear it.
Yeah, I've just been meh because, I mean, if he does come back, I'm going to be all on I'm on the hype train if he comes back.
Sure.
I mean, 19, back in purple, it's going to be exciting. But the thing is with Adam Thielen, it's like, as much as, it's kind of like KG when he came back to the Timberwolves. I feel like people are going to be expecting a big reunion, a guy who's going to catch a lot of balls. But in reality, by week 4, he's the fourth receiving option, fifth option behind the run with Jefferson, Addison, and Hawkinson in front of him. And it's, I feel like he left Minnesota with
19 just became available.
Okay.
Fleming just got released. Big shocker there, but hey, the jersey's open.
Yeah, it is open. But yeah, no, it all comes down to the asking price. And I don't want Kwesi to pay, more than what he's willing to for a guy who's ultimately going to be the fourth receiving option by week 4. Yeah, he's going to be reliable and it's going to be nice to have, but it's like third rounder?
Yeah.
I'm going to meet in the middle. So I will agree on one thing and I'll disagree on another thing you said. So there were the rumors last week, I believe, from Polymarket that Carolina was asking for a third rounder. I can say I was blessed to get a little inside info from a very trustworthy source who said they are, in fact, asking for a third, which is ridiculous to me. There are genuinely people on Twitter who are calling Kwesi a bum and things like that for not getting the deal done for that asking price. I don't know. Who here, I know Phil did this yesterday, but a bit of a different crowd. Who here, raise your hand or cheer if you would actually give up a third-round pick for 35-year-old Adam Thielen?
Nobody.
Not a
Big
single
thumbs
person.
down
Right.
over there.
Okay.
So, friendly reminder, I know we're all active on Twitter, X, the internet, whatever you want to call it, Viking sphere, but a lot of people are just looking for reasons to be mad. I will say I would maybe do something that could become a conditional fourth. I wouldn't go beyond that. I disagree that he would be wide receiver 4 because I watched Jalen Naylor all through camp.
No. Option 4.
Oh.
Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson.
Okay,
Yeah.
making sure.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Yes.
Yep.
No,
thank
not
you for
wide
the
receiver
clarity.
4, not
Thank you
wide
for the
receiver
clarity
4.
there.
Option
because
4.
I've seen some people online think that he would be behind even Naylor.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think so.
After being at camp, Naylor just does not have the hands.
No, he doesn't
No.
anymore. But, I mean, I feel like that can come back. I feel like, yeah. But, again, it's just like a fourth receiving option, giving up that much doesn't make too much sense for me. But, yeah.
I'm kind of on
We'll see
your
what
side,
happens.
Leighton, with it. Like, I do. I love the easy storyline of Adam Thielen. I get it.
Yeah,
I
it
get it.
is.
Where
Exactly.
it's easy to get excited about that, the
Right.
hometown kid. But sometimes I think, as in Minnesota, we hitch our wagons to that too much. Like, oh, we just want him because we loved him as a fan. And I'm kind of like, I don't know. 35 is just kind of old.
It is a very Minnesota thing to do.
a very Minnesota
Jason,
thing
I
to
was
do.
wondering, a little bit off topic, are you ever going to consider yourself a Minnesotan?
I need to kind of understand the boundaries of that. I think, my goal here is we've lived here a full 2 months, which I think is more than enough time to decide that we want to raise our children here for the rest of their lives, obviously.
Well, let's wait till the winter comes.
That is, I have been told that. I, admittedly, as somebody who lived in Southern California and Scottsdale my entire
Yeah.
life up to this point, thought that yesterday was winter.
Oh, boy.
That
Okay.
is
Well,
about the expected weather you can
Yeah.
get in.
the reactions I'm seeing in the crowd of
I'm
shock
aware.
is
I'm
it's
aware.
appropriate.
However, that is definitely the coldest August day I've ever experienced in my life.
Wow.
This is what we
Wow.
call false fall. It's there's
I
like
have
multiple seasons.
I
in
have
this state.
a list. I
Yeah.
think somebody posted on Twitter. It might have been you that I have saved. And then second summer is due to come soon.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
When we were out here
Absolutely.
in September last year for the Vikings home opener, looking at places to live, it was, I believe, 85 on the home opener.
I mean, the weather for the fair this year is actually pretty nice, but usually there's like those couple late August days where it's like 85
Dog
and
days.
terribly humid.
Last
and
week, toward the end of the
yeah.
week, was pretty brutal.
Right.
Let's do a trip to Scottsdale in the middle of July and see how you
I
I
believe
wanna
you.
do that.
I believe you.
Zero desire to do any of that. I do have a desire, though, to find some more wide receiver options, you guys, for the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm going to put it to you, Leighton. We're going to start first. Not named Adam Thielen. What are some other options? I wanted to maybe toss out, too. The Browns had released Deontay Johnson Do we have any interest there as another name, a new name that I wanted to bring to the table? We've heard KJ Osborne obviously being tossed out there.
Right.
Jacoby Myers for trade. He'd be more of a rental, I think. What are your thoughts?
I like KJ Osborne, honestly. I mean,
another bring him back. Bring him back.
But the thing is with KJ Osborne, you're essentially paying nothing for him.
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying him a salary, but it's like Adam Thielen at a third or KJ Osborne for free. I think I'd rather just roll with KJ Osborne. I mean, he's a pretty reliable guy. He's going to come into the locker room, know everybody, and we'll kind of go from there.
It would make my 3 deep T-shirt that I got a few years ago relevant.
Oh, there you go.
Almost. I mean, we would need Thielen to also complete that, but I think it was JJ, Thielen, and KJ on that shirt.
Okay, so it'd be 2/3.
It'd be 2/3.
So you could wear it.
We're working on it.
You could wear it. Some other options, I guess, would be Curtis Samuel, Romeo Doubs, Kendrick Bourne. I mean, I think honestly, there's a lot of guys out there that could fill this wide receiver 3 role. And I think Jalen Naylor is still an option too. Yeah, he couldn't catch in camp, and that is somewhat concerning. But it's like at times last year he did show some flashes, and I think this season he's going to have an opportunity to prove himself once again for sure. But I think there's a lot of guys out there that can serve that wide receiver 3 role for sure.
Well, and Jason, I have to ask then too, because as we mentioned, right now the need is because Jordan Addison is suspended for those games, but we know that Jordan Addison will return and be back as that top guy. So how much does that have to play a factor into who they get to? Because this player is obviously then going to have to know that that role is going to shift when Addison comes back.
Well, I think tying back to what you were saying earlier, kind of your thoughts about Thielen, is I think that's why they're so focused on him specifically. He has the hands. He's not going to be, like I said last week and I've said on Twitter, he's not going to be burning guys by any means, but that's okay. I think the offense is going to be a lot simpler for McCarthy those first 3 weeks, and even when Addison comes back, they're going to be overseas. Everyone's rhythm's going to be thrown off, right? They're going to keep it simple, and even as a wide receiver 3 option, Adam Thielen's really good in the red zone still, and that is where we have struggled the most. I think there's going to be value. Out of those other options, I'm out on KJ Osborne. I think he had 1 touchdown all of last year.
He disagreed with something.
I couldn't hear what he said. Yeah,
I don't know what he disagreed with. I think he was just saying disagree to disagree.
He had 1 touchdown
trying to stir
in
the pot.
8 games last year. I think it was Washington and New England he played for. And when he did have to fill in his wide receiver 2 for the Vikings, he was really inconsistent. I remember at the beginning of 2023 when we went on that 1-4 stretch, he had a touchdown in his hands from Kirk that just basically got ripped out and counted as an interception, right?
Sure.
I don't trust that to be my wide receiver 2 option. I like Jacoby Myers. People are saying, well, the Vikings aren't going to pay him. The wording on the reporting made it sound, and this could be wrong or a misinterpretation, that he was willing to play out the last year of his contract, but if he was going to be stuck on the Raiders, he damn well better be paid some money to do so.
Would you be okay
I don't blame him
with not signing him long term and having him as a rental option?
That is the most Kwesi outcome possible because you're going to get a comp pick most likely.
Yeah.
And that is time and time again, and we can talk about Kwesi's ability to flip those draft picks. That is what we've seen Kwesi do, is think of the long-term implications of how long am I going to have this player. If we keep them or not, what are we going to get out of it?
Right.
I think the maths. If those reports are worded correctly, that he is willing to go to a contender or a better situation, but just wants to get paid if he's going to be stuck playing for the Raiders.
Yeah. I have a bold. Honestly, I was thinking about Kwesi and his draft picks earlier today. Bold take here. What if we just trade all the draft picks for proven players? Because apparently he can't draft guys. All of them. All of them. This is a totally 100% real take. And then just go totally undrafted free agents. Because I feel like we've had more undrafted free agents on this team in the past couple of years than we have actual, especially looking at his first 2 drafts.
Well, here's the type of thing that I look at is I think if you get a player that fills in at a position and they do well, I don't care if that player was a UDFA or an early draft pick. I just care that they do so, right? So we've seen a lot of those players not hit, but a lot of the guys we thought were going to be like really big UDFAs this year, Zemiah Vaughn or second-year Gabe Murphy, got cut today.
Right.
Yeah.
Max Brosmer's a huge win, but he's in a situation where he's QB3. He doesn't see the field unless the first 2 guys go down.
Yeah.
So we won't really get to see that value. We know it's there. We're excited about it.
Which, let's be fair, is a very realistic possibility that he does see the field. The way the Vikings quarterback, we're knocking on all the wood, but I'm just saying.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you do it.
Saying that has happened numerous times throughout the past couple seasons for the Vikings.
Would you trade all 11 draft picks for Micah Parsons?
I don't. think we need him because you'd have to.
You don't think we need him?
Wow.
I mean, listen, Micah.
He's like a top 10
Who
player
would take
in the
Micah
league.
Parsons on this team?
Listen,
I mean, no, we're getting no's though too. Really?
I don't
No.
think.
Fascinating.
I think he's great, right? But there's a situation in that pass rushing room where you already have guys like you'd have to give up Dallas Turner.
No,
You'd
I'm
also-
just saying.
you also
I'm just saying
couldn't pay him,
hypothetical.
right?
I'm just saying hypothetical.
Hypothetical?
All 11 draft picks for him.
I would have to.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
In theory, but who are you going to pair him alongside? Who's going to sit on the bench?
It doesn't matter as long as you got Micah Parsons, man. That's game record 101.
I would maybe do it for Myles Garrett. I think to me, I have him just edging out Micah Parsons.
I just think Micah Parsons is a little more dynamic.
Yeah.
He can play around field a little bit more.
I mean, at the end of the day, and going back to the draft conversation, because now we're sitting on all these picks looking to do something, and being a real professional here, didn't bring my laptop. I'm just refreshing my timeline on Twitter to see the updates from Pelissero and Jordan Schultz and those guys. But as of now, last I checked, we still had all those picks, hadn't completed a trade.
Right.
I think that Kwesi's lack thereof of draft success is going to be totally forgiven if J.J. McCarthy pans out. If
I agree.
Donovan Jackson is that anchor on the left side.
I agree.
And if Dallas Turner, again, embarrassment of riches in the pass rushing situation that we were just talking about, gets to see the field more and shows sustained success, I think we're going to be more than fine.
For sure.
And I think a
agree with
lot will be forgiven.
Yeah.
We've seen Kwesi make all of these moves mostly to clear up cap space, as we've recognized, right? Leighton, what do you think he's going to do with this? What is he up to? We know he's maneuvering something. We let him cook. We love to watch Kwesi cook.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to happen again? It feels every ounce that it's heading toward getting another wide receiver, but what else do you think he's possible?
Yeah, I think wide receiver is definitely an option. I think corner is – because how many corners are on the active roster right now?
The cornerback depth would be very, very
there is not a
needed as
lot.
well.
I haven't checked my phone in an hour, so I haven't – no. I know Vaughn got cut, but who else?
Well,
Was there anyone
Mackay
else?
got traded
Right.
yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a lot of corners. And
No.
sometimes when you set up these, this salary cap space and getting these picks, sometimes, you play a couple games and you see what you need before you make a move before the start of the season. It's like seeing guys in practice, but then seeing them execute on the field is a completely different thing to where it's like before the trade deadline comes around, maybe it is that corner that we need, or maybe it's another linebacker that we need because someone got hurt. There's a world of things, but it's like sometimes you just got to see it play out on the field before you actually pull the trigger on making something happen.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, my current theory, until proven otherwise, is I think most of the assets are in an attempt to get Adam Thielen or another established receiver, because receiver is such an interesting position. Like, Justin Jefferson's going to be bracketed, and you can't throw to Hawkinson 30 times a game.
Yeah.
So you have to get a
JJ
second wide
doesn't
receiver.
camp. There's one play that I'm still thinking about, which is it was like they're at the 5-yard line in the red zone, and he just threw straight fade route, and Hawkinson just went right above the rim.
Yep.
And I still
Little
think
Moss
about
action.
that play.
You were down on the field for it, weren't you?
Does it
I don't
lull
know
you
if I
to
was
sleep
there.
sometimes? It's just sweet dreams.
It kind of does.
Yeah, kind of.
It was-
I like
it
that.
was
such
beautiful.
like a simple play, and TJ is just a
It
big
reminded me a
frame.
little
It's
bit
like-
of his catch without having to fall over against the Giants in the whiteout a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Just that absolute Keen Moss, which is great because we didn't get a chance to see him do any of that last year coming
Right.
off injury. Where was I going? My brain was going to corner.
It
That's
had.
where
It was.
Yeah,
It took
corner,
a weird
yeah.
route, but I
Sorry.
feel like you're going to get
You
right
threw
back
me
to
off.
it. Yeah.
But I think corner is a position where you have three guys who are going to be on the field pretty consistently that they have some form of faith in. Obviously, Byron Murphy, they just extended. He's a Pro Bowl caliber. I think he had 7 interceptions last year. And then you have Isaiah Rodgers, who was kind of one of those under-the-radar signings. I think he was
For sure.
the first person we signed in free agency.
Yeah, I think he
first or
was.
second. But Flores loves him, and he's a man coverage guy, even with a bit of a smaller size. Okudah showed some flashes during camp, and you're going to have some insanely frustrating moments with him, but you're also going to be really happy with some of the plays he is
Right.
able to make. You have that pass rush there for a reason. My theory on Twitter was, hey, you don't have to defend the pass if the quarterback hits the ground every time.
Very true.
Right.
A little bit of truth to that, I think, is Flores' philosophy. But I think looking at how many players are going to be on the field between receivers and corners at a time, wide receivers should be the top priority right now, because you have one really good guy in Murphy, a guy who could be really good in Rodgers, and then an interesting potential pop-off in Okudah. After that, we will find someone somehow. but I think wide receiver takes priority.
Yeah, I was brainstorming a little bit the other day on a video idea. I think Isaiah Rodgers is honestly top 3 player on this team most approved this season. Because he's shown the flashes in Philly, but at the same time, like, he wasn't playing every down in that playoff run, in that Super Bowl. It's like you signed him because of the potential that's there and the flashes that he did show, but like being a full-time starter is a completely different thing, especially when you're the top guy on the outside.
They'll need somebody to rotate in
a lot.
And I'm not opposed to Gilmore. I know.
I was going to ask about him.
I don't want him to be out there every down.
Right.
We had, I think it was the oldest cornerback group in the league last year.
I believe that.
That. And I'm okay, though. He did fine enough. He had, I think, 1 or 2 interceptions at key moments.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't necessarily play poorly.
Right.
It wasn't great. I mean, he was old and slow, right? But he's a guy who I think could actually be maybe even a good mentor to a guy like Okudah.
Right.
He's much older than everybody else in that room and can kind of look at this guy who was I believe it was the 3rd overall pick. Right?
Yeah.
And say, hey, I know things haven't gone right. Here's what I've done to kind of have sustained success. I'd be okay with him being a rotational guy 100%, and I don't think it would cost the team hardly anything. Kind of like the KJ Osborne on the other side.
Right.
But I think there's more value in somebody like Gilmore who knows the scheme and has proven to be serviceable even last year.
For sure.
I'd agree. I think even in going back to the wide receiver conversation, because I agree, I think that is exactly what we're going to see happen. That's the position that Kwesi is focused on without question. Do you think Adam Thielen does make the most sense because of the veteran experience too? I feel like that's the direction that he's going to go when it comes down to the wide receiver options. Is also right. You need to have that veteran experience, that guy who again will understand that role, right?
100%.
Like that has to make the most sense.
Oh yeah, because I think obviously Jefferson Addison, and then I think the most what's the word I'm looking for? Tenured NFL player besides those 2 guys was Tim Jones, and I think he has like 14 NFL catches, and like everyone below him has less.
Right.
So obviously, you're looking for that experience, especially with a young quarterback, to where it's like you don't want 2 guys out there not really knowing what an NFL game is like at the same time. To where it's like, when you got a guy like Adam Thielen out there who's played hundreds of snaps, it goes a long way for sure.
I'd rather go with somebody, and not necessarily at the wide receiver 2 spot, but I'd rather see what Felton has or something like that and have Tim Jones or somebody like that rotate in than get KJ Osborne, personally.
You're so out on KJ.
No, it's a matter of what you've invested in and what you see potential in, because you have Felton was your 3rd round pick, and he had some ups and downs during camp, but I think you just, at that point, you might as well give him a shot and see what he can do in game action.
Right.
My opinion, I think that if he can catch the ball, he'd have much higher upside.
Yeah.
Problem is the drops and the crispness of his route running. But again, like, we're looking at statistical output from Osborne last year. It's not good.
Right.
So we don't even know what he would bring.
Yeah.
That's fair. Again, we are Purple Dailies Before I Die. I'm Jesse. He's Jason. He's Leighton. Today's Score North appearance at the Minnesota State Fair, presented in part by the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, running now through September 28th, which is my birthday. So I have particular fondness to the Ren Festival. You've never been to the Ren Festival.
No.
We have to add that to your list, Jason.
I feel like I just
do.
have to go everywhere and spend all the money.
It's very State Fair-like, but also kind of quirky and, medieval situation.
Any chance I'd pull a McCarthy rookie patch?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Renaissance.
Probably
not.
Yes.
Not the right crowd.
Maybe not my place, but
Different crowd.
Can I get
Different
a
crowd.
giant like chicken or turkey leg?
Turkey leg.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
I do
Then-
have some questions for Jason about the State Fair.
Please,
Us
let's
Minnesotans
interim,
love
yes.
to brag about the great Minnesota get-together.
We
Can
like
I
to
hear your
humbly
Minnesota
brag.
quick?
My Minnesota accent. I've not
Just
worked
say,
on it enough.
just say Minnesota. Where are you from? Or where do you live?
Lakeville,
No, just say Minnesota.
Minnesota. Am I
Okay.
supposed to do the accent?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
You get a couple-
I don't want to do it.
couple of
I
those-
I
You'll be
accidentally
saying
get too.
you'll be saying "ope" before you know it.
So fun fact, I've said "ope" my entire life because my dad, his family came from Oklahoma
So you'll
during the
fit right
Dust
in.
Bowl. And apparently that's a thing you also say in Oklahoma, so it's always been "ope."
All right, so you'll fit right in. All right, so I saw you had a Pronto Pup earlier today. You like it, right?
It's pretty solid. The
A lot
batter,
of mustard.
Listen.
Really?
Okay.
So much. He put so much mustard on
I
that
did
thing.
not
put a lot
That's
of
a lot of
mustard on
mustard.
All right, clarity. If you've been
I
to
did
the
see
Pronto
that.
Pup stand, you do not put on your own condiments.
That's true.
Correct? I'm not
I don't
crazy.
know what stand this
So
is. I feel like we need to find
I thought,
this stand.
hey, I will post a
Sanity.
video of reviewing a Pronto Pup. they like paint on the mustard. And
It was
everyone-
was a
mustard on
lot.
a stick.
Everyone's
it was,
just
it was
putting me on
mustard on a
blast
stick.
about
There was
the
a
amount
lot.
of mustard I put on, when I, in fact, am just an innocent bystander to the mustard massacre of 2025.
And
It's not my
what
fault.
time was it?
Oh, it was like 10 a.m. We got
Yeah.
off the shuttle, and I'm like, you know what I need? I haven't had coffee. I had like a sugar-free Red Bull this morning, and I hadn't had coffee, hadn't had food. Pronto Pup,
Pronto
10
Pup,
a.m.
why not? But better than a corn dog.
Yes, from a
Okay,
batter
that's-
perspective.
that's all that
I'm an
matters.
all-beef hot dog guy, so
Yeah.
like that, the dog itself could use a little
All right.
upgrade, but the batter's great.
So speaking of the batter,
oh, no.
how much do they use in tons? Every single stand, every single Pronto Pup stand, there's like, I don't even know how many. There are 5,
There's a
6
lot.
of them. There's a lot of them.
There's a few.
How many tons of batter do they use each year?
Accumulatively, like
Mm-hmm.
added up. Say, I'm just going to go what I think would be a big number and say 7.
Do you think 7 tons?
Sure.
45 tons.
Yeah.
That is 90,000 pounds.
Yeah, that's pretty absurd to think about. Okay, I'm going to go. The fried pickles. Right over there. I personally hate pickles. Can't stand them. But I thought this stat was pretty crazy. The chips, how many come in one? Maybe
Probably
6,
7 or 8 is typically what I've seen like posted.
6, 7. How many pickle chips, singular ones, does that one stand sell each year?
Probably say 5.5 mil.
Oh, not that high. 2.1 million.
See, I went too low on the first one. Thought I had to
All
get
right.
crazy on this one.
Okay, here we go. Last one. Sweet Martha cookie stands. There's 3 of them. All right.
I've seen all of them.
This is the big one, the OG right there. They got
That one
they
we
got
had at
3 of them.
10:45 in the morning, and I was ready to take a nap.
Phenomenal, huh?
Incredible. All the Sweet Marthas hate.
Yeah.
I just moved here, and I could say you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
It's incredible.
It's phenomenal. Okay. So when all 3 of them are going as fast as they can, one batch of cookies takes 12 minutes. So when all 3 of them are pumping them out as fast as they can, how many cookies can they make in 12 minutes?
I don't know how many.
Sweet
ovens.
Martha's is like the Justin Jefferson, I feel, of the state fair,
5,000.
right?
44,000.
That
Yeah.
is insane. See, I went low,
much.
high, low. I'm just
It's a
missing.
ridiculous amount of cookies, isn't it?
Now I got to ask you, how much of this did you know by heart before you put together?
Oh,
this
I
little
didn't know
quiz?
any
Zero
of it
of
by
it.
heart. But
Zero of
I've,
it.
No, yeah. But I know it's just
Just
all
making
it's
sure
all
I'm not like
ridiculous
missing
numbers.
some key Minnesota education I was
no, no,
expected to have.
It's part of our great elementary education, actually.
We just like
learn
bragging
to think
about it,
because
yeah.
Yeah,
you know, school
I just want to make sure I
started-
can get my license transferred, all those things.
No,
Yeah.
I do. I want to pose this to you since again we've talked at length about all of the options. Football season, we're fully there, but let's give state fair food items and assign them to a player on the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm going Sweet Martha's as Justin Jefferson. I think it's Jets, right? Everybody loves them as Sweet Martha's. You just mentioned the amount that's kind of like his yardage. It's always going to be an insane amount.
And
Can't
there
go
are some
wrong.
crazy people who, for some reason, say they're overrated.
You get a lot of cookies. That's my one knock on it. It's too many. Like, I would rather just share with people.
I was sitting
you
there
know, like-
impressed by the
Yeah.
stacking into the cup. We did the cup. We weren't going to do a bucket and just
Oh, yeah,
ruin our
no.
day.
Right.
And then I was like, this is insane. Then it fell over.
Yeah.
And then she had to restack it. But even then, I was insanely
But
impressed.
I think that's Jets. Any
Yeah, I got.
against?
I'm gonna go with the corn stand.
Yep.
Harrison Smith.
Harrison Smith for the corn
Reliable.
stand. I like
you
that.
know what you're getting. Mm-hmm. You get it every year.
Every year.
It's like it's. I mean, they're.
And even if
I
you don't
always
want
think
it
about the
necessarily,
corn-
but you're like, it's
Yeah,
you have a
exactly.
love, you have a tie to it,
You have
right?
to do it.
You got to do it.
I just think of the profit margin they make. I mean, what is it now? Is it? Did they up it this
Harrison
year?
Smith thinks that too. He's like, look at this money I'm making.
$6?
That was only $5.
$5?
I think
All right.
so.
$5.
Okay.
On it.
Maybe the milk is like J.J. McCarthy.
I
It'll
was
go
thinking.
perfect.
I was thinking the cheese curd tacos just got here. It's got all the hype in the world.
Okay.
JJ McCarthy. Cheese curd tacos
That
got
could
here
be
last
true.
year, I think.
Don't look at me.
Yes,
maybe 2
yes.
years ago. I
Last
think
year
they got
were.
there last
This
year,
year, the
so
new
JJ
addition is the pizza one.
Yep.
The
So
pizza
JJ
flavor.
McCarthy got here
Pizza
last
cheese
year.
curd tacos is such a ridiculous sentence.
Everyone went crazy.
I only
Yeah.
say milk because it just pairs well with the cookies.
It's very
Right.
true. That is very true.
And
Maybe the milk is Jordan Addison.
The milk
You
is
kind of
Max
have to have
Brosnan.
them both to get the maximum potential.
Yep.
And that's not to say, like, obviously Justin Jefferson was doing well before he showed up, but
Sure.
we've just seen even more since he's been paired with Jordan Addison, so
Right.
maybe that might be a fit. I didn't get to try as much as I wanted. I was going to say Mouthtrap was my favorite thing of the day, so that was
So
going to be
good.
my Justin
Yep.
Jefferson. However, I didn't get to try the Amish donut because the line was that long.
It never
It
goes
does go
down.
I'm going
Yeah.
to say that's Justin Jefferson because if you've been to training camp and there's wide receiver signing, that is what the line looks like to get an autograph, to even get the
very
chance
true.
to get an autograph. There is a line from the front of TCO Performance Center back towards the Omni Hotel almost, just to get in to try to get a wristband that may give you a Justin Jefferson signature. That's what I thought of when I saw that line.
Yeah.
Have you done the giant slide yet?
You say yet like I'm going to.
Why
wouldn't you?
I'm 33.
It doesn't matter.
I
And
literally
do not
just
wanna
did it
eat
by
it.
myself.
Okay,
Go
fine.
watch-
I
go
just
watch-
did it by
Go watch
myself.
the slide and see who's going down.
Yeah.
Well,
Everyone goes down the giant
Okay.
slide.
Somebody needs
I'll
to be
have
the
to-
giant slide.
if you-
Maybe KOC is the giant slide.
Maybe.
You know?
If you want to check off your Minnesota passport here, giant slide is definitely on
$4
that
cash
list.
only.
I have to
Straight
dip out
cash,
after we're
homie.
done, but I might have to come back before the fair closes just for the slide
Yeah.
and maybe get here super early and get the donut.
The
The donut
line
is good.
will still be
the donut is good.
absolutely
The line actually goes fast,
astronomical.
though. I'm not going to lie to you. The line goes fast. I waited in it last year. It was really
I
good,
did
though.
see the
It
move
was
is
worth it.
apparently, I was talking about it with Phil and Judd earlier, is there's a resale market where people go up to the front, say, I will buy mine, buy yours, and give you an extra $20 for you to get me
That's smart.
my donuts. So a little bit of like a Ticketmaster resale option going on, extra fees all involved just to get people to get their donuts on time.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I don't mind that idea.
What do you think the hardest thing would be to throw? If J.J. McCarthy, if we were giving him different food items to throw, what's going to be the hardest? Like, is that donut going to be pretty easy? Is the corn roast going to be easy? Cheese curds,
throw.
impossible.
Cheese curds impossible.
Impossible. You'd have to really pack them in, though. I bet
And
you
they're
could do it.
also burning hot.
A little warm.
Yeah.
A little warm. This is what we bring you on Before I Die. Food talk and Vikings talk. Again, brought to you by Purple Daily. We are coming to you live at the Minnesota State Fair. Rusco Deck, having a good time. I'm Jesse, Jason, Leighton. Boys, we're getting
Ooh.
close. Ooh, what do we got?
Chaz Chambliss is apparently going to make the 53, the outside linebacker, undrafted rookie. So this is a little bit of a different UDFA class than we expected to kind of stick around on the 53, but still impressive that we're keeping, I believe that's 3 as of now.
Yeah.
That just from this year, obviously Ivan Pace is probably going to make the 53 from a couple years ago. But yeah, Chaz Chambliss is expected to be a part of the 53.
Who all deserves credit in the Vikings organization for finding these guys, right? Because, of course, yes, it's easy to say Kwesi, but we know he's got his guys out there. KOC plays, I mean, all the coaches in general play a role. But who do you think is maybe the underrated person that's not getting the credit to recognize these players and the potential they have?
I mean, it has to be the scouting department. My curiosity is, and it genuinely, like, I love what Kwesi has done with free agency in the draft, or in the trades.
Yep.
I'm iffy on the draft again. I think I'm a huge Addison guy outside of maybe some of his personal off-season activities.
We never found out about the dog, though. Like, is the dog okay?
I believe the dog
okay,
is
sick
I just
dog.
wanted to make sure the dog was okay.
But I will say I think there's probably a disconnect in who he's listening to for who he's actually selecting and what the big board looks like and who he's working with to kind of identify these UDFAs. I don't know how involved Grigson is in either one. I'd be willing to bet he's probably more involved in the draft, and the coaches and scouts are giving Kwesi insight on who to actually go after and sign because the results kind of seem similar to his time in Indy. I would definitely say the scouting department's just they even identified Levi Drake Rodriguez last year as a guy worth picking up that no one even had anywhere, not even on their board. And he's a guy who maybe won't get a ton of playing time this year, but he's going to probably make the 53, it seems, potentially, with Phillips being traded. So they're able to find these guys that are slept on. I think we just got to work on figuring out how they can identify guys up front in those actual earlier rounds.
Well, then you think about a guy like Max Brosmer, who was in your backyard for an entire year. You know, it's like Kevin O'Connell was going to practice, seeing him throw.
That friendship with Fleck really paid off.
And that was probably a guy they had circled, like undrafted, we're all over it. And it makes it pretty easy for Max Brosmer to be like, oh, yeah, the Vikings want me. I'm just going to stay right here with one of the best quarterback coaches and, you know, with not only in Josh McCown, but with KOC, too. It's like pretty easy decision there.
I don't know if it dropped yet, but Chase Daniel is literally doing a QB school breakdown of Brosmer.
I did see that,
which is a huge deal.
Yeah, I did see that.
Leighton, I know you followed Max for quite a bit, and you were able to watch him. For those of the audience and those watching unfamiliar with his game, what is it that made him so sensational at camp and that has made him ready for this opportunity?
Yeah, honestly, it reminds me when he puts on that Viking. It reminds me of Kirk Cousins, like in a good way. It's that three. It's the.
Could you tell on my face? I was like,
I know. See, that's what I knew everyone was going to do. But it's a 3-step drop, throw, and then the way the ball just spins off his hand. Sometimes when you get that look of guys in person, when it just spins off your hand, you could just tell it's different. And it's different when he's throwing the ball. The accuracy is there. The timing is there. And then I think I mentioned it on our first episode. He's played a lot of football. I mean, he was 6 years in college. And although it's not the NFL snaps, that's a lot of football snaps. That's a lot of repetition. That's a lot of getting familiar with different guys, different players. And then when he's able to step in training camp and in preseason with guys that he's never played with before, he was able to pick that up right away. And I mean, look at the Titans game, for example. He didn't have the best stat line.
He was going against their starters.
Right, exactly. He didn't have the best stat line of his preseason, but it's like some of the throws he was making was just ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean,
Jeffrey Simmons. He went from a UDFA to having Jeffrey Simmons in your face. That's insane.
I wasn't watching the game live, but I think Will Reagans posted the every throw that he made, and I watched that. Yeah, he was in his lap like every play. But then the cover 2 beater he had up the sideline where it was just an absolute laser.
Yeah.
And he fit it between the corner and the safety there. I mean,
the one that got dropped?
It might have been the one that got dropped. But those are the throws that KOC is looking for, and that's where it's like I mentioned, like, it's KOC's chess piece to where he can put him in there, and it's almost like KOC is just like, it's 1 to 2 reads, and it's just so easy for him. And I tweeted out earlier that I have a Max Brosmer take that's way too hot for the streets right now, and I don't want to start that discourse.
Come on,
No.
do it.
No, I
Who
can't
wants
do
to
it
hear
right
it's
now.
way
I think
too
I
hot
know
for
what it
this?
is.
Let's go.
What do you think
the
it is?
crowd wants it.
I'll
Let's give
see.
the
What do
people
you
what they
think it
want.
You're more confident in him than a certain other quarterback.
No, I wouldn't say I'm more confident in him, but
Oh, what were you just say? Okay,
let's
so
just
see, I
give
went a
the
little
people what they
further.
want.
So
okay, the hot take. Like I said, it's too hot for the
His
streets
name's
right
Leighton,
now.
by the way.
And
What's
I'm-
your handle so people can at you if there's a problem
Strictly
with this
Leighton.
take?
Strictly Leighton.
So just in case.
L-E-I-G-H-T-O-N.
find him on
Issues with
YouTube, on
him.
TikTok,
Yeah.
on Instagram, on Twitter. You could
Send me
argue with
all
him
the-
on
send me all
every
the
and
DMs
any
if it's-
platform.
Yeah, if it's bad.
MySpace.
All right,
Okay,
let's
this
hear
is
it.
my hot take. Again, it's a hot take.
Hot take.
The Max Brosmer, J.J. McCarthy situation is going to be similar to Trey Lance and Brock Purdy.
Wow.
I told you it's a hot take.
I saw somebody say Bledsoe Brady, and that one doesn't even make sense given
No.
time frames. So
I told you it's a hot take.
That's a hot
here's the thing:
take.
is I'm a McCarthy supporter.
I am too. See, that's why I don't want to start this discourse.
But here's the thing:
I can't wait till Thor
here's
catches
what
wind
you
of
and
this.
I
No,
here's
see,
what
I
you
don't
and
wanna
I
start
can
this
both say though,
discourse.
and I'm sure even Thor would ultimately agree with this down the road.
Yeah.
What is the name of our show?
Before I die.
It's not, I want to see X player win a ring.
Right.
It's I want the Minnesota Vikings
Exactly.
to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
I don't care who does it. If Nick Mullins would have led us somehow to the playoffs in 2023 and gotten us to the Super Bowl, I would have gotten his face tattooed on my back. Maybe not. My wife might disagree with that. Okay, I would have done anything, right? So, yes, do I want it to be McCarthy? Do I think he's the best option? Yeah, but Brosmer, to me, is the best insurance policy we could have asked for at no cost.
And this could totally just blow up in my face too. But the fact that, undrafted, and he beat out 2 guys who have played in the NFL before, it's like, it goes a long way. You know what I mean? It's on the right track.
Isn't it crazy? And this is probably way too much hyperbole for one offseason, but there's a good chance if Brosmer's a couple years older and he was part of that, I think it was 2022 draft class with Howell, with Pickett, he could have been like the best quarterback in that entire draft class potentially.
Yeah.
Who else was in that draft class? Did anybody else come out of that and do really well? I can't remember off the. What year was Purdy?
Second day quarterbacks have just not been.
He was
Purdy?
Purdy was like 2019?
Yeah, that was before that, I feel like.
a little while before that.
Iowa State Cyclone, go Clones. Sorry, that's my thing. It's my little thing.
But yeah,
I do.
no,
You didn't go this weekend.
I'm
Didn't
going
go to
this weekend,
Dublin.
coming weekend. They play South Dakota University.
Didn't they just play in
I'm going
Dublin?
the next weekend.
They were in Dublin.
They play a game a week after being in Dublin.
Fly to Ireland
well, you're not
to go
a real
catch
fan.
the game.
That's fine.
And I'm going the next weekend.
I'm going. You're going the next
Cyhawk.
weekend?
Cyhawk
Oh,
game.
you got tickets to the Cyhawk game?
I'm beyond the field.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I know. I'm excited.
It's an experience. You'll see a whole bunch of field goals because no touchdowns
Are you
ever
giving me the
scored in
VIP
that
hookup
game.
for the Gophers game Thursday?
We'll
What's
see.
the move there?
We'll see. I've already used both of my.
So I would support, though,
hookups.
Brosmer like Purdy. It obviously worked out well.
And again, I'm not trying to start the discourse. I think J.J. McCarthy is going to be great, but that's just my hot take. Hot takes are
I need
hot
him to be
takes.
great
And I
because
said
this
it's
might
too hot
be
for the
college
streets
for
for
It
us.
could be
my
something.
kids.
I
So.
didn't want this discourse to be started to where I'm not a J.J. McCarthy believer. I am a J.J. McCarthy believer.
And it seems like nationally, though, too, even throughout camp, you saw the national media come in. They're starting to be JJ believers, too, right?
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't
Maybe
think
except
some of
one
them.
notable
I mean,
person who Kevin O'Connell
I actually
very
I talked to
friendly
her.
with.
I talked to her at training camp when I was down there. She's very nice. Very nice.
I'm sure she's nice.
She knows ball. She loves talking ball too. So.
Yeah. And again, it's her viewpoint. It's what she thinks.
Exactly.
So she's allowed to have that opinion.
She could be totally right, by the way.
She could be. We won't know until
She could be completely totally right. We can't
we see
say
it
he hasn't
in
played
action.
a game yet.
Right.
Well,
See-
it's not so much that. It's more the conversation of there were these massive doubts, which everyone reported that they talked to Rodgers, which I'm totally fine with. That happened, and I would almost be concerned if the team didn't have a conversation with a future Hall of Fame quarterback when they
Right.
have a 22-year-old coming off injury. I could 100% see the reasoning. It's just maybe leaning into the whole they have no faith in their quarterback thing was a bit farther, and I think you could maybe
Yeah.
see that in KO's reactions to some of those
sure.
conversations.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially. I mean, yeah, you have to consider that option with Rodgers because you have a Super Bowl caliber roster right now. It's like you have to consider it for sure.
How about for the audience? Are you guys all in on JJ McCarthy? Right? Woo! Right? There we go. I mean, we got
They're
some.
all in.
Would you
Oh,
have
he's
rather
not.
had
He's
Would you
not.
have rather
He's
had
nervous.
Aaron Rodgers or somebody completely different?
He's a Max Brosmer
Give me a
guy.
name.
You're a Max Brosmer guy? Yeah.
Yeah, see, he's a Max Brosmer guy. I just pressured him into
I
it.
know, right? Yeah, do you have a name? Who would you think? Now we're putting you on the spot. I know, it's a lot of pressure.
If you
He's a-
say
he's a what?
Kirk Cousins, we're gonna have a hard time.
Cowboys fan? Oof.
Okay.
Oh, are you all in on Dak? Oh, never mind. We're good.
That's a rough.
Yeah.
It's okay. Well,
Not
we live
many
and we learn.
Not many fan bases have had it worse than us, but
No, we live and we learn.
Cowboys might be up there with
They're
the last.
just a documentary about how they won 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, but
in
I'm
4
saying
years.
as
Come
of
on.
I'm saying as of late.
As of late, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I would give that.
I'm not. Yes, of course, Cowboys dynasty in the 90s. but
I've said it all year. It's why I went and got my skull tattoo too. What? did I
Elijah
got?
Williams, baby,
made it.
made the 53. That is huge. So that's another undrafted free
It's a
agent.
big, yeah.
That's 4.
I don't know what it means for Levi. I'm a Levi Drake Rodriguez guy. I'm
I
a
like
big
him
fan.
too.
But they do different things, right?
Yeah.
And like the way the pass rush and the run stopping works with Brian Flores is different guys fit different roles in different ways. So I think that they could keep both. It just depends. I mean, they obviously don't need the spots for a ton of wide receivers at this exact moment yet. So we'll see what that initial push looks like.
But yeah, I brought him up on last show. Elijah Williams, Morgan State FCS guy. He was just tearing up those third and second string offensive linemen. I think it was against the Texans where he really had a good game, but he could be a difference maker. And any undrafted defensive guy that they keep, I'm just like, oh, Brian Flores sees something in him. He's gonna make something out of him. So it's
Right.
like they could sign someone off the street who's never played football before, and I'd be like, oh, Brian Flores has got a thought.
I've said this before, and again, it's why I allowed this tattoo on my arm skull, because the Vikings were giving it away for free, first and foremost, and
Okay.
then second of all, because looking at this Minnesota Vikings potential on paper, even before they made their cuts, I'm like, it's everything I need. What
yeah.
would you think, Leighton, is their one maybe weak spot, the one question? It's easy to say quarterback, but I'm going to take that off the table.
Right.
Can't say that.
Right.
Anything else? What would be the Vikings team as it sits, as we are getting down to the final 53 here in mere moments, in fact?
Yeah.
What would you say is kind of the one weak area?
Yeah, I think it's the secondary for sure. I think it's the lack of depth at the cornerback room, and I don't even know if it's a lack of depth because it's just a lot of young guys, lack of experience maybe. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, Isaiah Rodgers, he's had great flashes with the Eagles and in his NFL career, but being a full-time starter on a what's hoped to be a very good defense, how does that look?
Yeah.
Theo Jackson in the secondary, he's replacing Cam Bynum, but he's going to be out there every snap. How does that look? Harrison Smith is getting older, and I should say not getting older. He's not getting younger. How does that look in
That's
year?
always a nice way to say
one and
that
the
about
same.
the elderly, right?
And
The elderly.
and how does Harrison Smith look in the secondary in his whatever year he's in right now? I think the secondary is the biggest question mark, but I do think that front seven is the best in football. And when
Yeah.
you do have the best front seven in football, that does take a lot of pressure off the secondary. The only thing I noticed when they were going up against the Patriots is like these just cover zero blitzes from Flores. I mean, that puts those corners on an island.
Right.
And if you don't get home, it's like that's when things start to break down. That's when it's easy touchdowns, it's breakaway runners, it's stuff like that, to where a lot of it's going to come down to this front seven, but I think that's honestly the the biggest question mark right now. I think maybe the close second one is just I think the offensive line is going to be great. I think it's just going to take time to mesh because 3 new guys. I think it's going to take time, and
That's fair.
especially with Darisaw coming back, how does he look as well?
Jay, would you agree, or is there another area that you kind of have a little bit, I don't want to say concern because we're not sounding any alarms up here, but kind of that question mark?
By taking the whole DB group, you kind of took 2 position groups.
I know.
He kind of cheated on that one, I guess.
I would
but-
lean a little more into safety. I think there was a lot of optimism about Theo Jackson, and we just didn't get to see him do a ton in camp. He had a couple interceptions and a couple plays where he got burnt pretty bad. I'm curious, though, if he's not where they want him to be, what does that mean for Metellus? Did they limit Metellus to being more of a traditional safety and take away the thing that made him – he's a good safety, but the thing about Josh Metellus is he's like the Shohei Ohtani.
Right, yeah.
Right, he can do anything at any time.
Including calling plays.
Correct. And so do you then have to say, we can't really trust Jackson? But I don't think that's the case. They've shown in the past when they need to have him on the field, they're more than comfortable with it. But just to make sure that they're able to get Metellus moved around, that's what I'm curious about. But, yeah, I'd say corner, I'm not as panicked about everybody because I think the 3 main guys who are going to be on the field the most, I'm okay with. There's a lot of different – and I'd say probably wide receiver just because – even after Addison comes back, is Naylor really going to be the wide receiver 3? He had some great moments last year.
Is it a lack of consistency, you think, for Naylor? Is that what's kind of your biggest?
Yeah. I mean, I was in the end zone in L.A. when he had a beautiful pass from Darnold that would have changed the game, and it just dropped it.
Yeah.
But then he had these other plays with Addison out last year where I think he had 5 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, no, he started off really hot last year.
It's a matter of consistency. That's why I look at a guy like Thielen or some of these other options, which is like, I don't care where you're out on the field. Just catch the ball. I know you can do that.
Right.
That's, I think, the biggest question point. And even a lot of the guys who have a lot of potential, more before he got hurt, but Ty Felton being a big one, Lucky Jackson, they're just not consistent at bringing in the ball, but they show flashes when they do.
How do we feel about the running back depth, too? I feel like that hasn't been discussed too much. I think, obviously, we know what Aaron Jones can bring. He can catch the ball.
Nothing Cam Akers can't fix.
That's
There
very true.
it is.
Hey, maybe that's why we're
There
stockpiling
it
all
is.
those. Oh, no, he
He
got released.
He got released.
So we have to
Oh.
wait for somebody to sign him and then trade all our late round
exactly.
picks.
Yeah, no, I think the running back room is very solid. I think Aaron Jones, I don't know if Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason are going to necessarily split carries. I think Aaron Jones will probably
Can
still be
Mason
on the
catch the ball?
It's very, yeah,
That's my biggest concern with him,
He did in
right?
camp.
I saw
But he also
one.
didn't.
I saw one where it was like a little wheel route, and he just literally went up and tried to catch it with 2 bricks, and it went right through
Like
his
it
hand.
just-
That did happen. I think there was one at the night practice, if I'm not mistaken. Was that one, or no? I think you
No,
saw
it
a
was a
different
different one, but-
So there's a couple, but I mean, most of the time, again, but you're seeing in a vacuum here or there, but at camp, like you're watching these guys, especially the running backs, when they're doing those drills, oh, we got a guy with a go pack go sign.
Oh, man.
no.
It should say.
All right, guys, ready?
Go
Let's do a score.
0-2
Ready?
against the
1,
Vikings
2,
again.
Oh,
Okay,
That's
ready?
what it should
Do
say.
it.
0-2.
Skull.
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 Skull. Skull.
Making trades.
Making trades and panicking.
No
I
panic.
don't know.
I
No
would be
panic.
panicking if Jordan Love was one of the highest paid
I think-
quarterbacks in the league.
Did you
to be
guys
honest
see
with
that?
you.
That's insane to me.
There was that post on X the other day, and it took me forever to understand it. But it said, and this is the Bears, not the Packers now, mind you. It was, Kalen Williams blindsided by a hit on the sidelines. And I kept looking. I was like, what are they talking about? It was
an
a trash
NFC
can.
North.
It was a trash can getting hit. And I was like, oh, it's a joke.
I was just making sure you didn't fall for NFC North news.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. The very trusted news source of NFC North news, the most reliable and certified source there is on the internet.
Accurate as
very
can
funny.
be.
It was
But no,
great.
I think another running back, Xavier Scott. I think the flashes he's shown in the preseason is definitely. And I mean, I think Ty Chandler's still on the team as of now.
Yeah.
But
That'll be.
Do you
I think they're
think-
going to try to trade him.
I think they are too.
I think he's shown flashes enough where if they're ready to move on, I don't think they keep 4 running backs by any
No,
means.
I
But,
don't think so either.
I think that they do trade him. I'd expect that. I mean, there's not a lot happening right now. I'm going to be
Right.
honest. We're 9 minutes out. I know that probably in about 10 to 15 minutes we'll get just a Excel sheet.
Well, do they have
basically
to announce it at 3?
I
thought
think
it
they
was
do.
3.
I
Or
think
no.
that it gets pushed to the league, and then the teams typically announce it. But
Yeah,
they
so
first they submit it to the league, which
Right.
is why I think it'll probably be 15, 20 minutes after.
Because I know there's
Yeah.
teams like notoriously announcing them very late in the day or in the week or whatever it may be.
Well, because then I think, don't they have to, I don't know, football, again, hockey's kind of my main sport for those of you that are unaware, but like in hockey, it takes a while for the league to approve it sometimes too, right? So like it's not announced until the league has
trades,
their say.
yes.
Right?
On cuts, it's just a cut.
It's just a cut.
Yeah.
Post it on the outside of the door and you're done. We love that. Guys, I think that's going to do it for us. Like we said, things are going to change
significantly before our next episode.
Before our next episode, but we're getting closer and closer. Again, this is Purple Dailies Before I Die on behalf of myself, Jesse, Jason, Leighton. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Thanks to Score North, our friends back there. Thanks to the Renaissance Festival. Thanks to Rusco Deck. There's going to be plenty more Purple Daily content all week long, as well as other Minnesota sports content. We got Twins. We got hockey. We got
Gophers.
Gophers. Our
on
buddy
Thursday.
Ross. That's going to be great. Gopher football. Let's go. And hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day at the fair. Bye.
Awesome. Awesome.